Good evening, everybody. Dear members, dear friends, thank you very much for sparing the time with us and also looking forward to our special speaker today, Madame Claire Jollain. She holds a master's degree of the University of Derby, and after education, she had a stunt in the French automotive industry, where she focused eventually on international organization events and ever more zooming in on the luxury brands, celebrities, and etc. So now also lecturer of the César Ritz Swiss Higher Diploma Program of the Hotel Institute of Montreux, and also contributing to the Swiss Education Group with webinars, etc. I'm sure she can share a lot with us tonight. So I would like to give that with these words, I would like to give that on to Madame Jollain, and please enjoy her speech. Thank you very much. Madame Jollain, please take it up.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon or good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure and my honor to be with you today, sincerely. And I would like to thank you, all the team members who have organized the webinar. My goal today is to share with you the current and future trends in luxury communication. And I have noticed in the guest list that some participants work for luxury brands. So don't expect breaking news here. However, it's sometimes interesting to take a step back from your own brand and own universe to analyze the industry as a whole. And challenging the past does not mean that all the things done in the past are not anymore relevant. For those who are less familiar with the world of luxury, you already know that luxury brands are known to set the trends, to innovate, and to take some risks. So at a time we cannot longer travel, I invite you to a short and virtual trip to luxury land. Like any travel, there will be times of amazement, times of doubts, and maybe things you don't like. I hope for my part that you will keep a wonderful memory of this trip and that you will take away some souvenirs to inspire you personally and professionally. So thanks again for being with me today. And to start with, I will shortly introduce Swiss Education Group and the school I work for. So I'm here in Switzerland and I'm working for Swiss Education Group. I've joined the group almost 7 years ago. Swiss Education Group we have schools, hospitality school in Switzerland, a beautiful country that has been ranked in the best country in 2019. We are the largest private hospitality educator in Switzerland. We have more or less between 6,000 and 7,000 students enrolled per year. And we are very lucky. We say that we are a bit like the United Nations. We have more than 100 nationalities on campus. So we are welcoming people from all over the world, mostly bachelor students. We have also a school in culinary art, and we also have students who are continuing their study with master's degree. Our four schools are based in mostly what we call the French-speaking area of Switzerland, in Montreux, Caux, Le Bouvray, Les Uns, but we also have campuses in the German-speaking area in Lucerne and Brigue. So we have four schools, César Ritz colleges, that I used to work for when I joined SCCIJ at the beginning. Culinary Arts Academy, I was also working for that school, but I promise I was not teaching how to cook. SHMS, Swiss Hotel Management School, and last but not least, the school I'm working for now and I'm based in is Hotel Institute Montreux here in Montreux. One of the specificity of Hotel Institute Montreux is I like to explain the school, to describe the school as a mix of an hotel school and a business school. The first year is really focusing on hotel management and for me, what is the most important is customer focus. And after the first internship, when the students come back from their internship, they have the opportunity to take a specialization and to work, to do that specialization, whether in human resources, senior living, finance, or luxury brand management. And indeed, all these industry, all these sectors, and especially finance and luxury and senior living now, are looking for people who have hospitality skills, people who know how to take care of customer. And we are very lucky because we are working with, of course, with a lot of Swiss company, among them UBS for the finance specialization, and of course a lot of watches company for their luxury brand. And next year we are going to launch MBA in collaboration with Northwood University. And look at that, it's amazing. We are very lucky. This is our offices, okay? All our school are hosted, accommodated in previous hotels. So it gives a very good motivation to go to work every day. So now let's speak about luxury. And of course, if you have any question regarding the schools or the group, you can also be free to ask a question in the chat section, and I will answer after the presentation. Today, what I wanted to share with you is what is happening currently. I mean, influencer, I'm sure you have heard about that. Key opinion leaders, maybe also celebrities, virtual influencer. I mean, my goal today is just to present a little bit all of this. So I'm going to ask you a little bit a question, okay, on the chat. So let's just finish that and go to my screen again and to chat with you. Why I can, here, sorry, chat. My chat have disappeared. So I'm going to send you this link, and I would like you to click on it and to tell me if you know this person. And I will have a look at the results in a few seconds. So do you know them? Okay, do you know all of them, none of them, one of them, or at least two of them? So I give you a few seconds to look at them, try to recognize them.
One.
So, of course, the first one maybe is the one that you know the most, Angelina Jolie. She is a celebrity, okay? And luxury brands have been working with celebrities for decades now. You know, that was the most obvious way to promote a brand. These celebrities are people who became worldwide famous thanks to their successful career in movies, sport, or entertainment. So there are people who, if you work with these people, if you ask these people to be your brand ambassador, of course you can reach quickly a wide audience and potentially some customers. And with these celebrities, you are buying a part of the dream. You know that you're not going to meet Angelina Jolie tomorrow when you go at work and having a coffee at the coffee machine. So there is something that it's part of the dream, it's a part of a legend, and you want your brand to be associated to that legend. And you have plenty of examples. I'm not telling you something that you don't know here, of course. And a lot of perfume brands, watches and jewelry are still using this way to communicate with their customers. Usually they are luxury brands that are very well known and that want to reach an international audience without, taking into consideration maybe the cultural differences. That's why they choose this type of worldwide celebrities. But it costs a lot. I mean, Charlize Theron, for example, has been the image, the face of the perfume J'adore from Dior. It costs to Dior $5 million per year, okay? Robert Pattinson, who is more for a younger target market, has also a contract with Dior, and for this 3-year contract, it was 4 million per year. Okay, so it costs quite a lot, of course, to work with these celebrities. Influencers, and maybe this girl, not all of you know her. She's Chiara Ferragni. She's Italian, and she is known as one of the most famous influencer in the world, and she began as a blogger. So first of all, what is the difference between an influencer and a key opinion leader, what we call also KOLs? Key opinion leader are people who are known for having a special expertise in one field outside the internet. Okay, they didn't become famous thanks to internet. So it could be someone who is very good at sport, you know, for example, a sport person, or someone who is excellent at, engineering, for example, people who have a concrete expertise, and brands are asking them their support to promote something. Influencer, it's different. Influencer, they use internet as a starting point, and they build on their community. They learn with that community, and this is how they became famous. So usually, key opinion leader can become influencer. Give you an example. One of the most, famous writer in the world is Stephen King. Stephen King is a key opinion leader. Basically, every time he says something about a book that is not his book, there is a huge community of people who are going to buy this book because people trust his knowledge, trust his expertise. Now, his expertise is not coming from the internet, but every time he's posting something on the internet, he influences people. On the contrary, Chiara Ferragni, she started as a blogger, very basic blogger, taking picture of herself, eating a salad, and step by step, she started to become a key opinion leader, meaning that brands want to collaborate with her, want her to create, like we can see with Lancôme, some specific collection with them. So I'm going to show you shortly a video to explain who is Chiara Ferragni. It's quite interesting.
Harvard Business School, and she just sat in the front row at 24 Fashion Week shows. Michelle Miller met the budding international mogul. Michelle, good morning.
That is so. Just a few years ago, Ferragni was a fashionable Italian law student with a passion for posting photos on her personal style online. Today, she sits atop 2 companies worth $8 million. A traditional celebrity. 27-year-old Chiara Ferragni is a brand, and a lucrative one. Ooh. She's the co-founder and editor of the fashion blog turned lifestyle website, The Blonde Salad. She founded it back in 2009 for just $10 with her then boyfriend and current CEO, Riccardo Pozzoli.
When I started, I just wanted it to, I was doing it just to share, because I love sharing my photos.
So it wasn't your intention to make a business out of this?
No, my intention was to create something that people love to look at and they could find inspiration from.
The Blonde Salad now has more than 500,000 unique visitors a month and brings in more than $1.5 million in advertising and referred sales.
My secret has always been to be true to myself. I've never tried too hard.
Ferragni and her team of 16 have become so successful, Harvard Business School has made her the first blogger ever selected for a case study. Professor Anat Keenan and her students analyzed every aspect of her startup business.
She's the most successful fashion blogger. She was very creative in monetizing her blog, in turning it into a multi-million-dollar business. Kind of the main reason for her success.
So I'm not going to show you the whole video, but the idea was to show you an extract how by just starting with a blog, she became so influential. So she became a key opinion leader that even Harvard has done a case study on her. Why people are more and more interested in working with influencers is because compared to Angelina Jolie, Chiara Ferragni seems more reachable. approachable. She seems to be more authentic. We all know that when Angelina Jolie, she does a commercial for Jollain, we're not sure that she's going to really use the perfume. On the contrary, influencer, they became famous because they were testing product in front of their fans, and they were able to say, I like it or I don't like it. So this authenticity is something that is more and more searched by clients. And at the same time, people are watching less and less the television. They are going less and less to the cinema. They read less and less magazines. So all this traditional way of doing advertising with, you know, billboards with Angelina Jolie and things like that are less and less relevant. Another opportunity to work with these influencers is that you are saving a bit of time and a bit of money. Usually they are a bit less expensive, and they can take care of the content. So for example, you are going to give a bag, a Louis Vuitton bag to Chiara Ferragni, and she is going to do her own photo shoot with. And that will make your brand, your product also more authentic, because it's in a real life situation and not just, you know, a celebrities taking a picture. Oh, okay, we have a photo shoot with a professional. So this is what is a trend, and it's true in any type of industry, not only the luxury, is this search for more authenticity, because clients are more and more aware of marketing, so they can identify also when it's too much or when it's too perfect. You know, imperfection is one of the key success of influencer. The problem is that if you give, depending on your brand, if you give too much freedom to the influencer to use your product the way they want, then you might lose your creativity control. And for some luxury fashion brand, they really want to keep that creativity, to keep the control on that. And another problem is that usually when you want to work with influencer, you don't know where to start. There are so many influencers on the planet, and it's a very great gray market. Because first, prices, there is not a clear, you know, list of prices. You have famous people like Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian. They charge up to $250,000 just for one post. So of course, these two ladies are very influential, and they have a huge community of fans who are going to buy their product. But depending on how many products you are going to sell thanks to them, or the price of this product, I'm not sure it's going to be a good return on investment all the time. And that is the second problem from some marketers, is that it's very difficult. This is the only thing on the digital marketing that we can't really measure, is a return on investment. Basically, we were not able to measure that also with Angelina Jolie on a billboard. You know, you don't know how many people, when they saw the advertising, they think, okay, I'm going to buy the perfume. But the fact that currently it's still a very young market, the influencer, it's very difficult to track how much they contribute to a brand and to measure that in terms of money. So you have influencers that just do that to make some money, and they don't influence that much. And this is yet the problem. The third problem is that you have a lot of false influencers. If you think again about Chiara Ferragni, she started a few years ago. The market was not full of influencers like now. Recently, I was speaking with hotel brand. We are saying that they receive every day dozens of requests for influencer, or people who pretend they are influencer, pretend that they have a lot of, you know, followers, like, and things like that, but in fact they are not real people who are following. It's just, you know, robots. At the time, 2 or 3 years ago, 1 of 2 accounts on Instagram were counterfeit. So that was a big problem with Instagram because their business model is based on advertising on the Instagram. So they need to procure, to make sure that the people who are buying advertising can have access to real people. So what they have decided is to delete all the false accounts or false comment or false like. So you have some people who have overnight a big decrease in the number of likes and fans and comments, and to add a blue verified badge that really is a way for Instagram to confirm that this profile is the profile of this celebrity, of the right person, because you have also a lot of people who are trying to use the celebrity or the fame of the others to also create their own account. Here is an example of an influencer in the travel industry, Chelsea. She's based in Hawaii. And a bit like Chiara Ferragni, she started to travel, to take beautiful pictures of her travel, to give advices, and this is how she became an influencer. She has 700,000 Instagram followers. But what is interesting, and this is what Instagram provide and the influencer can provide, if you want to work with them, you need to ask them these figures, is your engagement rate. And her engagement rate is 7%, meaning that if you have 100% looking at a profile or at a post, 7% of them, 7 of them are going to like or to comment. And she has an Instagram health score of 95%. So what is an Instagram health score? Is Instagram that calculates that among the people who are following her, so the 700,000 people, 95% are real people. Because Instagram cannot control everything, and they are trying to remove all these robots. But every time you are deleting some people, other accounts are created. So that's why they have created this health score. So one of the solutions that brands helped is to work with micro influencers. So instead of working with Chiara Ferragni or Kim Kardashian or Chelsea, they are working with influencers that have a smaller community of fans, but these people are real people, the people who are following them. So they have high engagement rates. And they are betting on these people. They say, okay, maybe these people, they will become famous step by step. And if I start working with them when they were not so famous, I will grow with them. So just to tell you what is, maybe to see what type of influencer you are if you're on the social media. So if you have more than 1 million followers, which is not my case at all, you are a mega influencer. Between 500 and 1 million followers, we say that you are a macro influencer. And then it goes down up to the nano influencer, which are people who have between 1,000 and 10,000 followers. If you have less than 1,000 followers, you just have an account on social media and you're not an influencer. So that gives you an idea of the landscape of the influencer. If I continue, I'm going to show you a video of Mr. Bag, who is a bit like Chiara Ferragni. He started as a bag lover, and now he is a key opinion leader.
This is Beijing-born fashion guru Jollain, but nobody actually calls him that. Oh, what should I call you? Bags, Mr. Bags?
Actually, in Chinese, people call me Bao Bao.
You want me to call you Bao Bao?
Yeah, you can call me Bao Bao.
Bao Bao, or Mr. Bags, went to college in the US to study finance. But he ditched that path to run a blog about how to buy luxury handbags. 4 years and 4 million followers later, he's got his own team of employees. And he's quite possibly the most authoritative voice in luxury handbags in China. And odds are he's younger than you. He just turned 26. When did you get started with bags?
My parents, like, they do finance, so they're within the financial industry. So they really expect me to work in the same field. And I just love fashion, and I just shop a lot. Like in Los Angeles, I went to Rodeo Drive like maybe 4 or 5 days out of a week.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think it is about you that all your followers like? There's a lot of people out there writing about bags, a lot of people writing about fashion. What is it about Jollain that does it for them?
We are all consumers. Like all of our team, we have this perspective of a luxury consumer. So we know what they want. We know what they need. I can tell like if this bag is going to be popular in China. This is sort of like my special power now.
Within a few years, it wasn't just consumers who wanted his advice on bags. Brands started calling him up too. Last year, Givenchy and Longchamp released limited edition bags with Mr. Bag's branding, and they sold out immediately. And now he's about to do his biggest collaboration ever with another luxury brand, Todd's.
I have to show this to you. Is this?
That's cute. I
It's
gotta
a
say,
little
that's a cute
dog.
bag. These $1,500 bags are being sold exclusively on a social networking app called WeChat, and he's hoping to sell out all 300 of them within an hour.
Inside is the Mr. Bag's Heart Tots.
There it is.
1
Ooh, 1 minute.
We have to start now.
All right, let's go.
大家准备好了啊，马上我们要开始了，已经发出来了哈。Oh, for the first minute, we got 56 people already paid the money and bought the
Really?
bag. Yes,
70.
70 now.
100.
100.
It's 10:04.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yes.
4 minutes you
100
sold
already.
100.
Because each of them is 10,000 RMB. So right now it's a million RMB. Oh my God, it's sold out. Everything is sold
Everything's
out.
sold out. It's been 7 minutes.
大家辛苦，来，大家一起鼓个掌。
In 7 minutes, he made over 3 million RMB. That's about $500,000. I see you on a lot of lists as a key opinion leader, KOL.
Yes.
What do you think about that term?
I think in this new generation, it's not like you have to act or you have to sing to become someone influential. If there's something you're good at and you want to share it with people, then you can become influential.
So I hope you have enjoyed, and maybe some of you knew Mr. Bag, but it's really impressive what he's doing. The third type of influencer I wanted to speak with you, a third type of collaboration luxury brand can have, is a virtual influencer. And this is quite new. It started 2 or 3 years ago maximum. And this, at the very beginning, these people, these virtual people have been created by IT companies who wanted to demonstrate their capabilities in virtual reality. Okay, what is great with a virtual influencer is that they are not, they are unpaid, okay? They don't ask for holidays, they are unbiased, they are available 24/7. And of course, among the young generation, they are very popular. What is interesting is that they allow a lot of creativity. So I'm going to show you a few of them, because maybe not all of you are aware about what virtual influencers are. And I will start with this collaboration with one influencer. So this influencer is a bit cartoon-like, but you have other virtual influencers that look real, like human. So this one is the most famous one, is Lil Miquela. Her real name is Miquela Sousa, and she has been created by an American company in 2016. So what is interesting is that when they create characters, virtual characters, it's like when they create, cartoons, they give a story to that person. So what is great is that Lil Miquela, she's 19 years old, and she will never get older than that. She will stay 19 years old. That's amazing. I wish I could be her. She's half Brazilian and half Spanish. And she had more than 1 million followers on Instagram. What is interesting is, and I'm going to show you some video of her, is that she's also a singer. And I'm going to show you an extract of the video clip where you can see her singing. And what is interesting in that video clip is that she's among real person. So I'm not going to show you the whole clip, but just an extract. So these are real people. And this is her who is singing, but right now it's just real people. And she's here, okay? So you can't really see the difference. And it's her again. Real people, virtual. Her again, real people. Oops, sorry. This company, they also have created Bermuda, and Bermuda, she's very different from Michaela. She doesn't have the same political views. She's more conservative, and of course, she's a worst enemy of Lil Michaela. And so the young generation, they are following these two influencers, and they are, looking at all their drama stories on Instagram, on Snapchat, and I'm pretty sure now on TikTok. So it's really like real people that are fighting on social media, but they are virtual. And everything is, of course, created by the company. In Japan, we have Ima. She has been created in 2018 by a Japanese tech company. And she's also very, very famous. She works, she was in the cover page of Grazia. She did collaboration with a lot of luxury brands, among them Lamborghini. Another influencer that is very, very well known is Shudu. So Shudu, she started to work with Fenty Beauty and Tiffany's & Co. And she's considered as the first digital supermodel. Okay, so it started 1.5 years ago that she was part of the défilé of the fashion show, and now during the COVID, Balmain has decided to create his virtual army. So they use Shudu as a top model to present the dresses and everything, and he has created 2 other virtual influencers with Margot and C. And here you have a list that is already outdated because, of course, numbers are growing every single seconds. But these are the most famous currently virtual influencers. So Lil Michaela, you saw her. Nunuri is the cartoon-like, the one who did work with Dior. And then you have Ima number 3 and Shudu number 4 and Bermuda number 5. So I have introduced to you the 5 most famous virtual influencers. What does it lead to that? I mean, is there a recipe for success? Is it better to work with Angelina Jolie, with Chiara Ferragni, or Mr. Bag, or with Lil Michaela? I would say it really depends on what is your story about. And yesterday, when we were preparing this webinar, I shared an anecdote with the organizer, and I'm going to share that with you. So I told you we are in this beautiful country in Switzerland, and a lot of our students are coming from all over the world. And every time I'm asking them when they arrive, why are you here? Why did you choose Switzerland to study hospitality? And all of them, they answer to me, why? Is it because hospitality was born in Switzerland? And usually I ask them, oh, do you have a proof of that? Do you have any study that is saying that maybe the first hotel has been created in Switzerland? In fact, all the hotels we have, for example, here on the Swiss Riviera, have been created at the same time that, I mean, you have the same type of hotels on the French Riviera, in Austria. So it's just that Switzerland was the first one to promote their country as an hospitality destination. And when we think about hospitality, it's not only about hotel, it's about taking care of people, empathy, or things like that. And basically, it's something that it belongs to us as human beings. Since humans are on this planet, they are taking care of each other. So we even can't say that hospitality was born in Switzerland, that in Switzerland people are taking care of the other more than in other country. But once again, it's not about bringing facts, it's about building a story. So, and currently with this increase of new technology, social media, internet, webinar, you need to create a story. By the past, when you were sending, letters, you have a print magazine with an advertising, the story was not very immersive. But now you have your mobile, you have your computer, you have even virtual reality. So the story is more immersive, and people love that, because since we are little, we have been told story, and we are human being. And what makes us different from any other animals is the ability to dream and to create story and to share story. So I'm going to share with you one story of course, one of the most famous luxury brand.
Once upon a time, there lived a little girl who hid her humble origins all her life and preferred to invent her own legend. Once upon a time, Gabrielle Chanel was born under the sign of the Leo to a traveling peddler and a laundress who died at 32, exhausted by life. Once upon a time, there was a father who abandoned his 5 children and had his 3 daughters sent away to an orphanage. At 12 years old, Gabrielle would never see him again. Forever after, she pretended that he had left to make his way in America. Once upon a time, there was an orphanage behind the walls of a convent, the Abbey of Aubazine, where Gabrielle spent nearly 7 years. The Romanesque purity of this ascetic world would inspire her sense of austerity and her taste for black and white, while the opulence of religious garments and ceremonial objects would spark her fascination with Baroque style, gold and colored gems in years to come. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young girl who spent her days sewing and her nights singing in a cabaret before troops of cavalrymen. She was called Coco because she often sang, "Who's seen Coco in the Trocadero?" She always preferred to pretend that Coco was the nickname given to her by her father. Once upon a time, a young woman with a boyish allure refused to ride side saddle on the horses of a well-born cavalier, Etienne Balzan. She dressed like no one else, taking her inspiration from masculine attire and inventing new styles of hats, which she stripped off their birds and feathers to make them simpler, lighter, more chic. Her first clients were working girls, but society quickly followed.
So Chanel is really taking back the history of Coco Chanel, Gabrielle Chanel, as a way to continue the legend and to build on the legend, because a new generation, and I'm sharing that with my students in luxury specialization, they have heard about Gabrielle Chanel, but they don't know the full story. And when we start to play that videos, and you have a lot, kind of long collection of once upon a time videos, students are totally fascinated about Coco Chanel. So to give you some tips, let's say, how to build a story. And I use this story cycle from Park Howell to give you some tips. The first one is you need to have a backstory, like I show you with Gabrielle Chanel. You have to tell where in the world you have been and where you are now and where you are going. So if I take the example of Champagne Lançon, all their new advertising campaign is just about putting the dates. They have been here for 3 centuries, almost 3 centuries, and it's all about love, the love of the product, the love of what they are doing. Then you need a hero, okay? So for Chanel, you have Gabrielle Chanel, or you could also have Karl Lagerfeld. For Ritz, you have Cesaris. For Switzerland also, we have Cesaris, okay? But someone who embody the brand. That is very important. Then step 3 and step 4 is to show what you have done concretely. How did you contribute to the history of luxury, of hotel, of champagne, and how did you disrupt that? Because if you do always the same thing during decades or even centuries, then you're not a new brand, you're not innovative enough. And in luxury, you always need to take into consideration your roots and at the same time challenging the statu quo. So one of the brands who is very good at that is Audemars Piguet. To break the rules, you must first master them. So it's all about that. We have been there for centuries, and at the same time, we know how to break the rules. Then you need someone to fight against, okay? You have a hero and you always have, I mean, Superman, Batman, they need to fight against someone. So here, maybe you have recognized them, you have Yves Saint Laurent and Karl Lagerfeld. Yves Saint Laurent fame was of course based on all his creativity, but at the same time on his rivalry with Karl Lagerfeld. They used to be good friends, but they were not. And all this, and you know, when Yves Saint Laurent became famous, you have to choose if you are part of the team Yves Saint Laurent or the team Karl Lagerfeld. Number 6 is you need to mentoring your clients, okay? What is your brand unique position and how you're going to help your clients to achieve their goals. Rolex is excellent at that. It's their tagline, their slogan is a crown for every achievement. No matter it's sport, no matter it's graduation, no matter it's, you know, turning 30 years old, it's an achievement. You deserve a crown, you deserve a watch. Step 7 and step 8 is all about your journey. You need to document your journey. You need to illustrate your journey, maybe your failure, your success, because once again, you need to be more authentic and you need also to celebrate your victory. A brand that has becoming very famous among the young generation is Stella McCartney. And Stella McCartney, they really wanted to focus on sustainability. And one of the things they are saying is that they are agent of change. And they are saying that they are not perfect. They are doing their best to protect the nature while doing fashion. And it's also written here. And they will struggle, they will do mistakes, but we, customer and the brand, we are agents of change. And step 9 and step 10 is the moral. What is the moral of your story and what are your rituals? What will make the fact that there is a kind of ritualistic use of your product and service. And I will finish with De Beers, which is a jewelry company, luxury brand, of course, that is selling on mostly diamonds with their tagline that is amazing. A diamond is forever, and you can read their advertising. The idea is really that every time you have a moment to celebrate, or you need to say thank you, or you need to say, excuse me, forgive me, a diamond is always the best answer. And as a conclusion, we are coming at the end of our trip, and I would like to share with you a quote from Tom Assaker. It's facts don't persuade, feelings do. And stories are the best way to get at those feelings. So yeah, that is my conclusion for all of you. And I'm stop sharing my screen.
Claire, thank you very much for this really insightful presentation. I have to admit that I learned a lot. We have a few questions, and you agreed kindly to take up a few of them.
Of course.
You already mentioned a little bit in your presentation, but do trends in the luxury communication differ in Japan, maybe from other countries, from other Asian markets, or in general? Do you have any knowledge on that?
So I'm going to be very humble here because I'm based in Switzerland and all of you are based in Japan. So you know better than I what is going on. What I've noticed, however, is that the luxury brand, they are global and their communication is global. So when we see virtual influencer, and the example of Balmain is a good example, they are trying to create virtual influencer that fit different type of personality, different type of body and ethnicity, and this is, yeah, the strategy of the brand is to be global, to reach as many people as possible for the worldwide luxury brand. In Japan, I was, because I have, like everyone, we all have cliche, but I was surprised that we didn't have not so many virtual influencers. However, I would like to share with you what Gucci has done with something more than a virtual influencer, but an influencer that is guided by artificial intelligence. And if you allow me, I can show you an extract of the video that I have here. Let me just go back to sharing my screen and showing that to you right now, because it's really interesting what they have done. So this is, yeah, Erica, so her name is Erica, and this is a campaign that is mostly done in Asia. And Erica has been created by a Japanese tech company. And this is a video they have done.
Lately, I've been wondering, what is the distinction between you and me?
So she's dressed with Gucci clothes, if you don't recognize.
The body is important, but it doesn't seem to be essential to being a human. In fact, humans are constantly trying to overcome their physical limitations with technology. In Japan, there is a belief that everything, from a tree to a rock, has a soul or a spirit. What then makes humans exceptional? Is there anything only humans can do? Maybe it is the ability to doubt. What are you thinking about? What do you want? Are you happy? Or are you sad? Maybe what makes humans exceptional is the ability to deeply understand and believe in each other. Humans think, feel, and move completely on their own. Then why are you scared of me?
I just go a bit quicker just to show you the end.
Robots are mirrors of your heart.
So this video, for example, this advertising has not been seen by so many people. I mean, on YouTube it's 40,000 people. So for Gucci, it's not a lot. So it's still very confidential, but this is a good example of how using a virtual influencer and to adapt it to the Japanese culture. Because one of the challenges of the luxury brand is that they are global, but people do not accept that globality anymore. They also want something that is adapted to your cultural, I mean, your background, cultural background. And some brands, and I wanted only to share good news today, a good example, but you have a brand that totally mess up by not taking into consideration the cultural background and trying to impose their vision of things. And the worst example is Dolce & Gabbana, who was, I mean, did something very stupid advertising, I have to say, and has been has been banned, almost banned from the Chinese customers, the luxury Chinese customer.
Picking up on that, we have another interesting question. What happens if your influencer actually commits a criminal act? Are there any cases on how to deal with that, because your brand will be linked to this person?
Yeah. So you know what? It happened the same with celebrities. We have an even fashion designer. I have a course, I mean, on my luxury marketing and communication course, there is one session that is all about dealing with crisis. Because you have you have a Dior fashion designer who was insulted people. He was totally drunk in the street in Paris, and he was insulted people, and of course everything was recorded. You had Kate Moss, who was taking I mean, she was the brand ambassador for Chanel and many other brands, and she was I mean, paparazzi took picture of her taking some drugs. So you have a lot of examples like that. The risk is the same, that using, I would say, a celebrity or a virtual, an influencer, because they are human people. They have some flaws. They are not perfect. They also have, let's say, kind of pressure and maybe, yes, drugs, alcohol, parties, and they can, make mistakes. That's why brands like Balmain, now and they used to work with the Kardashian family, so believe me, scandals they know how to deal with, but now they prefer to work with virtual influencer, because virtual influencer, you can control almost everything. You know, you have a contract with this IT company and you decide with the IT company what the people are doing. So that's why also they are becoming more and more famous among luxury brands. But you are losing this authenticity that you have with real people who can have some flaws.
Maybe or maybe not. That's a great cliffhanger for our future, I guess, if we will not be replaced by robots, but actually by virtual reality. Thank you very much again for your really insightful talk, and I hope we had a few other questions, but unfortunately we're running out of time, and I have to pass back to our president.
Yeah, if needed, I can send my email to the people if they want to send me a question. I would be very happy.
That would be highly appreciated. Thank you very much, and enjoy your lovely view in Switzerland while we are heading to a night full of rain again with the typhoon. Thank you very much.
Bye, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Claire, for the speech. Very insightful, very interesting, also scary to some degree. I would also think if you basically realize that you are being influenced and identify that, how does that feel? Not being on the influencer side, but on the being influenced side. But anyway, that's something for everybody to think about, and please take care of that. Make sure that you make your good decisions for that and not being too influenced by whatever is out there, virtual or real. Thank you very much for everybody for joining in, and have a good evening.